Long balls here on Morning Kick Around on Friday, March 28th. Let's lead it right on off. Johnny Cardoso, the American talent playing at Real Betis in Spain,
Yeah.
is getting his confidence boosted by some interest from Tottenham. Last summer, they put in kind of a unique kind of claim. He has a priority option when Lo
Yeah.
Celso went from Tottenham to Betis, and in a ESPN FC article is saying that he's really feeling with confidence. His head's in Betis, but the prospect of going to England has got his confidence up.
He missed out on the U.S. men's national team failure in Los Angeles at the Nations League, had a slight injury, was replaced in that team. So he is not tainted by that failure. Is that a nice way to say it, or is that a mean way to say it?
I'd say in a very individualistic sense for Cardoso, I think he would probably be grateful to not be in that. But as a competitor, to get to the level of professional athlete, he's probably upset that any team that he's related to had a failure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't have a handle on Johnny Cardoso as a personality, as a figure within the culture of the U.S. men's national team. My understanding, and this obviously could have changed since the last time I checked, my understanding is that Johnny doesn't have a ton of English. You know, he's a guy who was born in Jersey and grew up in Brazil. So his primary language is Portuguese, and he's probably learned a lot of Spanish being in Seville in Spain at this point. So I don't know exactly where he is in sort of like his connection to the national team, but that doesn't mean he doesn't care. Right? It doesn't mean that he doesn't have some serious interest in helping the U.S. men's national team achieve things. And every time he's called up, he's accepted, and he's been excited to play. This is good news, I guess. Whether or not Tottenham is the club you want to join right now or this summer, that is an open question. Will there be a new manager, or will Ange Postecoglou still be in charge? You look at the makeup of that squad, and they certainly need help. I think Johnny Cardoso could do a job in the Premier League, right? I do think he needs to improve as a passer of the ball, but we've also said that about Tyler Adams, who has done very well at Bournemouth as deployed by Iraola. So, yeah, I'm good on this. It is interesting that there's like a first right of refusal situation here for Johnny Cardoso and Spurs. I don't know this unique necessarily, but you don't hear a lot about these deals where it's like, yeah, we're not buying him yet, but you can't sell him unless you check with us first.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, there's been purchases and they get loaned back to the team originally, but I don't really recall. Like, this is almost like Lo Celso went from Spurs to Spain, but then they kind of have just like that. First right of refusal sort of a setup on Cardoso, which I don't necessarily recall. Like, usually it's like a purchase with an option to buy or immediate loan back or something like this. I'm new to me.
Yeah. By the way, this is a conspiracy theory, but we will entertain it. Graham is asking or commenting, Cardoso gets injured right before a winter too many times not to be a coincidence at some point. Now, my memory is not good enough about specifically Johnny Cardoso and his national team history to recall the number of times that an injury has popped up for him just ahead of a national team camp. This one I know, and I vaguely recall another one, but I don't have like data points to back up what Graham is saying. So let's just acknowledge that maybe Johnny Cardoso has sort of soft turned down call-ups. I mean, certainly when, and it might not even be Johnny, right? In this particular case, with the season kind of hitting the stretch run for Betis, right? And they're having a pretty good season in La Liga, and he is a major part of it. And Tottenham eyeing him up potentially for a summer transfer, there just may be like a wink, wink, nod, nod thing happening. Right now, and Mauricio Pochettino has already shown a bit of an inclination to defer when players have these kind of concerns, right? Sending Christian Pulisic home before the Guadalajara match against Mexico, Weston McKennie back to Turin as well. I know those games were not competitive, and these games were on paper competitive games in the Nations League. But if Johnny Cardoso was not going to start, it was not going to be the first choice for Mauricio Pochettino in that starting 11 with Tyler Adams in the team. Maybe Johnny said, hey, I got a thing. I don't feel 100%, but also maybe don't bring me in. I could come in if you really need me, but maybe I stay because I got this potential move coming. Those things happen.
For those who haven't been keeping like the keenest eye on Johnny Cardoso at Real Betis, they are in 6th place in La Liga, and Cardoso in his second season with the Spanish side has 33 appearances, 2 goals and an assist. So a key player for a pretty decent side in Spain, playing primarily the defensive midfield role. So
Yeah.
keep an eye on that